Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we asked YouTube and the Marvel Contest of Champions community who is the worst champion of each class 2017, and today I woke up very, very surprised because we had a phenomenal amount of responses in comparison to last year. Last year, we barely got over 1,000. This year, just under 4,000 responses on this survey. And some of the results, they surprised me a little bit. I wasn't expecting certain characters to win in every class. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go through the survey results now and have a little bit of a look at, which character was crowned by the community as the worst champion of every class. So we're going to start off by the science class, where there was a pretty marginal winner. There was a really big winner, and that was Luke Cage as the worst science character, which I am very inclined to agree with. In second place, we had She-Hulk. In third place, we had Spider-Gwen. Fourth place, we had Joe Fixit. And in the fifth place, we had Ant-Man. I was a little bit interested to see that, She-Hulk and Spider-Gwen were second and third. I was, expecting Joe Fixit to come in second. But I think Luke Cage, by far, in the current state of science, is by far the worst science champion. So I'm very inclined to agree with that. So congratulations to your boy Luke Cage, aka Mr. Pillow Hands, for winning the worst science champion of 2017. And now we move on to probably the closest and most divided class here, the worst skill champion. So it came down to really three big players in this game. We had Daredevil Netflix, we had Falcon, but the overall winner was Karnak. But really, this was any character's game. Like, we were discussing this yesterday. I didn't know who it was going to be. I think it's very debatable between all three of the characters, depending on which scenario you're going in. But, even some of these, the worst skill characters, they got a little bit of utility going on. But Karnak, he's the winner of the worst skill champion of 2017. Just needs a little bit more damage, needs a little bit more damage. So congratulations to Karnak, but I think so far Karnak, he's ahead of Luke Cage in terms of what he can do. But next up we have the worst mutant champion. This one was a landslide victory, absolutely dominated by Send Colossus his way, boys. Colossus just absolutely rinsed this one. 58% of the votes. We also got a lot of votes for also Old Man Logan and Magneto Marvel now, which I can be very inclined to, I can see the perspective there, but I think I'd much rather see an Old Man Logan pop up in my 5-star crystal than a Colossus for sure. But I think Magneto Marvel now, definite second in regard to the worst mutant champion there. So an interesting result to see. And then we move on to the worst cosmic champion. Again, another landslide victory here by, ladies and gentlemen, you might have guessed it, Kamala Khan, the queen of memes herself, just dominating the worst cosmic champion there. The runner-up in second place was Groot, and in third place was Carnage. As much as we were all very disappointed with Carnage, I think, it's fairly easy to see for a lot of people that, he has a little bit more potential than Kamala Khan, but simultaneously that potential is still a very low bar in comparison to what a great majority of the other characters can do in Marvel Contest of Champions. Now, we're going to move on to the worst tech champion. It was a battle between two meme lords here, two meme giants, but the winner was surprisingly Iron Patriot. Hulkbuster, he came in second. He got a really big chunk of votes. But Iron Patriot, man, he's just dominated it by a good, 12, 13% of the votes. So yeah, I was a little bit, actually this was one that I was a little bit surprised to see, because I felt like, with Hulkbuster, he was going to come out slightly ahead of Iron Patriot, but, I can very much understand the neglect and not much love still for Iron Patriot, because the only buff that he got this year was his regeneration was, increased from like 10% to approximately 15% instead, which is still nowhere near enough. I think it needs to be about 25% for both of, all the Iron Man characters. To fit into the current state of the game well, because it's just too easy to play around with a special attack. Just never see it happening. And then finally, we have probably the most controversial and divided class here, aside from skill, Mystic. As you can see, there were really like 6 players that got votes. You know, we got Doctor Strange, he was 6th, and then in 5th place we have Juggernaut, and then in 4th was Iron Fist, 3rd was 4 Jane Foster, 2nd was Loki, and the most unpopular Mystic character, the worst Mystic character of 2017 was Unstoppable Colossus. But again, very, very divided opinion depending on which character you're playing. Like, at the end of the day, I think, you know, Mystic, having Unstoppable Colossus as the very worst character kind of means that the class is in an alright place. You know, Unstoppable Colossus, he still has his uses on Alliance War Defense, he's a bleed immune character. Got a little bit of fury, so yeah, but all these characters, they could do with a little bit more love to bring them up to some of the insanity at the top of the Mystic class, you know, with your Ghost Riders and Dr. Voodoos and Morning Stars and Hoods. There's just so much popping off. So ladies and gentlemen, now we move on to the survey of surveys, which we need to sort out right today, guys. It's the next 24 hours or 48 hours. I'm not decided. We might leave this open for 48 hours, but I feel like we're just gonna have so many votes for this one. The official worst champion of 2017. So let me just move this over so you can clearly see the candidates. So Science, Luke Cage, Karnak, Colossus, Kamala Khan, Iron Patriot, Unstoppable Colossus. I do not know who's going to win. I'm very, very curious. I reckon there are going to be two major champions this comes down to. And I think it's going to be between Luke Cage and Colossus, personally. I mean, Luke Cage, what's the difference between the two characters? They're both bleed immune. They're both very tanky. Luke Cage, you have minus crit damage on the opponent and also a stun. But Colossus, you have armor up. And also, what is it? A little bit more damage when you get that armor up. So it's just a very, very, very tight battle here between two incredibly bad characters, I reckon. You know, I think I'd much rather see a Karnak, Kamala Khan, Iron Patriot, and Unstoppable Colossus pop up on my Eye Crystal than a Colossus or a Luke Cage. But I'm super, super interested to see how this one turns out. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you need to go now to the description of this video, and you need to vote on what you believe is the worst champion of 2017 in your opinion. You can vote with your head, you can vote with your heart, vote with whatever you want. Just make sure you get your vote in for this, because every single vote counts. We've seen in, you know, some of the surveys today, like how nail-bitingly close it was for certain classes like Mystic and Skill. So get your vote in, it counts, and I cannot wait either tomorrow or on New Year's Eve to crown the worst champion of 2017. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed today's video and enjoyed, you know, finding out who some of these worst characters are. But anyway, if you did enjoy it, feel free to smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.